What's happening, guys? This is my Prospector. I love it. It tows my house on wheels with my family, got all my kayaks. But what if my house was on the truck? I think it would look something exactly like that. That is a TruckHouse, and I've been drooling on these for a couple of years. But we are here outside of Reno, Nevada to check out what this is all about. Let's go inside. What's happening?
What's up, Brian? How are you?
Doing good, man.
Oh, we got the dog barking.
Lola's coming to say hi.
Hey guys, it's Matt Linder here at TruckHouse. We're in our new facility. We've been here about 6 months, and we're going to give you a quick shop tour.
Yeah, let's go check it out.
Yeah, let's go check it out. So like I said, we've only been here about 6 months, so haven't spent much time decorating the offices, spent a lot more time on the manufacturing floor. Yeah. But we got a bunch of offices and a full 3D print farm in the back that we do a bunch of prototyping and some end-use parts. But enough of the offices, let's get to
let's go see the cool stuff.
Yeah, the cool stuff where we actually
these right here.
Where we build all these. And look, you know, generally we don't let people in, but you get special privilege. So come on in.
Thank you.
Yeah. So welcome to our shop. So brand new facility. We're still doing a lot to get her spun up and moving, but we are in full production as we speak.
How big is this thing?
It's 25,000 square feet.
Oh, is that all?
That's all. That's all. Yeah, it's quite the big jump from our 7,000 square foot facility we were in before. We'll kind of just start at the beginning of manufacturing and kind of go right through and then end at a finished truck if that works for you.
Let's do it.
Cool, man. So this is our sub-assembly area. So this is where we take inventory and create sub-assemblies that then feed production. Headed this direction.
So sub-assemblies, you mean like rat stuff like carbon fiber ladders?
Bed ladders and aluminum entry steps and
all the machine parts on there.
Yep, we do all the, you know, that entry step is a great example, right? We design it and then we do all the aluminum fabrication, TIG welding, and then it sends off the powder, and then it needs to come back and then get assembled prior to going onto the truck.
Right.
So
that's so rad. So all these parts are all the solar panels, all the things go on the truck when they're all done, but they're all pre-assembled here and ready to go.
Yep, trying to get faster, and you can only have so many bodies inside the camper at one time, right? Yeah. So you can't throw 5 people in to finish it. So if we can do some of that work sitting at a bench, it's faster, right?
Absolutely.
So this is our foam department. This is Gavin. He's our CNC operator.
What's happening?
Go do your thing. Yep, all good. He's gonna make some noise because we're building trucks.
Yep.
But you can see here, this is all our foam inventory. All this foam is expanded underwater in Sweden. It's various densities, various thicknesses, and then we 2 operation CNC machines. So we machine both sides of this foam to fit directly into our molds. It's hundreds of hours of CNC machining to complete very, very complex shapes.
Look at the complex
geometry
on both sides.
On both sides.
So rad.
Yeah, so there's not really a flat surface on the camper, except for the floor. So CNC machining is all surface, which takes a lot of time, but really gets us that OE automotive look.
Nice. And making full kits to make a camper out on the machine here in foam to then bring to our next stage.
Correct. Yeah, what you'll notice is we're kind of like 7 or 8 businesses inside of one area. I'd say we're one of the best core kitters in the country. So this could be its own business, core kits, but we just supply to ourselves.
Yeah, that's cool.
So when you go over to the next department, this is Composites. This is where we build all our carbon fiber parts. You'll see these are finished core kits. So that's a bunch of machined foam to lay into molds. So what you'll see that we have here is all of our tooling or molds. The molds are essentially the muffin pan that we reproduce the muffin out of over and over again, right?
So I like that analogy.
Yeah.
Let's cook, let's get it done.
Yeah, exactly. And so what we do here is called vacuum infusion. So all of these parts, we lay up all of the carbon fiber dry, all of that foam core, and then more of that carbon fiber. And then the epoxy resin is actually infused into that part. So we're able to get a better fiber to resin ratio, stronger, lighter parts, and then we don't have to spread any of that resin by hand.
Right, keeping that resin to a minimum in the part, but enough to keep it fully wetted out all the material to make it strong, but keeping it light because you don't have all that extra stuff.
Which is very common in the aerospace industry. And what's really cool is that foam core, right, is nominally 2 inches thick,
Okay.
And so that's why we have to machine it, because the molds are so complex. But it creates web thickness. So when you have a carbon fiber layer, structural foam core, more carbon fiber, that foam is actually like a web. So if you picture an I-beam, you have your flange, your web, and your flange. The web is what creates the strength.
Right, so there's little holes through all the foam, all the way through it, as well as all of the races you can see in here for all the wiring and everything else that's going to be. But the little holes all the way through connect the resin from the top layer to the bottom layer.
That's true, yep. And then the foam itself creates that web thickness. So we're extremely strong, extremely light, better insulated than a Yeti cooler. Really good for thermal and acoustic insulation.
Nice.
So we build all parts here. This is actually a pass-through part. This just came out of the mold. So this is what we replaced the rear window with in order to create the pass-through. We designed, built the plug and the mold and the parts for this. This has all the same stampings that mirror the stampings on the back of the cab.
Okay.
And it's about an 1/8 inch thick. In general, an 1/8 inch of carbon fiber is as strong as an 1/8 inch of steel, but this weighs about 5 pounds.
Yeah, it's so lightweight. So this part, these are all cab chassis trucks, right?
Correct,
From
correct.
Ram.
Correct.
And then these parts are sent off up to AEV because they build the truck for you and get that part dialed to seal off the cab before it comes here and the camper comes
That's
on.
correct. We developed a few things that AEV now does for us. We developed turning the 2 bench seats into 2 captain's chairs.
Oh, rad.
We sent them the frame that we built, now they do it.
Okay.
We still build the pass-throughs here in-house, and we ship them to AEV, and AEV does the install. We created the work instructions, we did the first handful of installs, and now they do it.
Nice.
So,
nice.
pretty awesome.
So these guys are literally building blocks here with the foam. They're all numbered and labeled and pre-cut to fill in this mold. And then you'll put carbon over that and then infuse it.
And then suck all the atmosphere out of the part, no resin will be seen. Put about 14 PSI on that part, so over that whole surface area, that's a ton of compression before any resin is seen.
Nice.
And then we're able to move a lot more resin in a short period of time versus doing it by hand.
So not only do you do that with the exterior parts, which like that's the whole tub for the bottom, you can see the wheel well there.
Yep.
You also do it with all the interior parts. So
We
all
do.
of these molds with the green accents are all your
Interior parts, correct. And we built all of these molds here in-house.
Nice.
This is actually a whole cabinet case that creates your bathroom. So this is actually the opening for your bathroom door. These are 2 cabinet doors. This is your fridge and your bifold. So we actually do foam core fiberglass infused cabinets. It turns our cabinetry. If we were to build them out of wood or something, it would be something like 300 pieces all glued and screwed together.
Nice.
We're able to build about 8 to 9 pieces of cabinetry that we bond into the shell.
And the way I understand it, all the exterior parts are all carbon fiber. So the whole shell, which turns into basically a monocoque, is carbon. And then all the interior parts are also foam core, but are fiberglass to save on cost. It's like 7 or 10x or something. The cost.
Depending on it, apples to apples. 7 is a good comparison. It could be up to 12 depending on the carbon you buy.
It doesn't really give you any advantage for the interior besides a little bit of weight.
A tiny bit, of course. And like we said, the shell is so strong, it doesn't necessarily need the cabinets as additional structure, but the way we build it, those cabinets actually act as structural ribbing or bulkheads.
They create, it's awesome. Awesome.
And because we do all this, we're able to really be fully in control of the laminate schedule, which is the types of carbon fiber, the thicknesses, the weaves that go in different places based on load.
Absolutely.
So we don't just build a uniform box with the same type of carbon fiber everywhere.
That's awesome.
We add more weight, different weaves, unidirectional.
So it's actually engineered with the different layers in the different parts for the rigidity that you want in those places.
100%.
It's a way different setup than people that just throw chopped fiberglass at a rig. Like that's a way that it's done, or even laminating it with just a single layer that's the same throughout. That's a totally different program.
And with chopped fibers, right, your fibers are only about this long. And what really brings strength to carbon fiber is the continuous toe, which is one long filament of carbon. And actually, while you're here, this is a good one for the viewers. So this is all carbon fiber. But this is a 2x2 twill, right? Your traditional fiber. One of these strands, let me pull this out of here. This strand is called a toe. In this toe, this is 12K carbon fiber. There's 12,000 individual fibers in this strand.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
And so you can get various types of carbon. You can get 3K, which would have 3,000 strands in this tow. You can get 6K or 12K.
Right.
So this continuous fiber is what creates the strength. When you're using a chop, if you just have random orientated short strands, it's pretty hard to engineer. You don't know exactly where
and
that.
You got to use a lot more of it. It weighs more. It's
more.
a messier job.
Correct.
It's thicker.
Correct. And
Sweet.
so behind me, we've got a shell. This is how the parts come out of the mold once they're structurally bonded together.
Yeah. What do we got over here? Oh,
more molds.
more molds. All right.
Yep, more molds getting ready to get sprayed. So we spray an in mold coating.
Yep.
We'll look at this guy. This is a great example of some other cool stuff we do. Is we do full hard points in the shell. So these are all stainless steel inserts embedded into the foam core.
Yeah.
So all these fasteners see machine screws, and then they don't go all the way through the shell. So if we through bolted, this is actually our swing out plate, right?
Yep.
If we through bolted this into this shell, you'd have a stainless steel bolt head on the outside, and you'd have a stainless steel nut on the inside with your bolt running through. That would actually create cold bridge. So you could get condensation on the inside of that stainless steel fastener. But how we do it is this is embedded into the core, so these fasteners don't go all the way through.
That is so rad. Yeah.
And then
little stuff like that makes such a huge difference.
And then they're fully serviceable.
Right.
So this isn't a wood screw that's gonna, basically waller out that hole over time. You can grab an impact gun and undo this and do it forever. And it's not just the swing outs, it's the hinges. It's your tail lights. It's your marker lights. It's your window frames.
Yeah, the little window frame has holes in it.
Yep.
Wow.
And we cover them with set screws during the paint process so that we don't get any paint in the thread.
Sure.
Then we pull the set screws and it's ready for assembly.
And you said how many hard points are there on this thing?
288.
Only, okay.
Yeah,
Only
288 fasteners, which is awesome, right?
That is so
And so this cell right now, this is gonna be our production cell. So this is once it comes out of paint and body, it moves into this carousel where we start doing wiring, plumbing, exterior assembly, interior assembly, and then fit and finish, which is where we do all of our wood veneer work, install, appliances, upholstery, all of that. And we do all that in house. So it's about 4,000 foot of wire in one camper.
4,000.
Yeah,
right.
six
a lot of wire.
6 different voltages.
Okay.
No propane, no generator.
Fully electric.
Fully electric, 48 volt system.
Yep.
And then it does step down to 12 in some places,
Sure.
24 in some places,
Okay.
5 to charge your iPhone.
Oh yeah.
It's 120 volt DC on the solar,
Okay.
and 120 volt AC for your household appliances.
Wow. All right.
And with that 48 volt system, we have a 48 volt alternator under the hood of the PXL.
Yep.
And so going down the road, you can charge at about 8,000 watts.
Okay.
Which is a lot.
Yeah,
which is
awesome.
a lot. This is our new spray booth.
Yeah.
Just getting wrapped up. This is state-of-the-art, insulated, 2.5 million BTU heater. This will also double as a post-curing oven for our composites,
Nice.
which is awesome.
So right now you've been doing that in that inflatable one over there.
Yep.
And now we have this brand new fancy monster
Yep.
that you can paint and cure parts. That's super cool.
And then we've got our bodywork area. So this is our prep deck. So this has exhaust benches to keep the dust down.
Yep.
This shell is in assembly. So this is getting all structurally bonded together. It's got its full interior in it. So these are all your fiberglass cabinets.
Very, very cool. So you can see like the furniture itself is actually become structural with the thing. So no mechanical bonding. It's just bonded directly, the fiberglass parts to the fiber or to the carbon tub.
And then incredibly lightweight.
That is crazy.
That's your whole bench bottom. So that's your U-shaped dinette.
What is that, like 8 pounds or 10 pounds? Or
yeah, probably 15 if I had to guess.
Okay.
And then we'll keep motoring this way. So this is outside the prep deck. This is our temporary trim room. So this is where we keep the carbon dust down. And then metal fab. This is kind of a cool thing. You're one of the first people to see it. It's a prototype, what we're calling a truck bed trailer. So it's a full truck bed with AEV fenders, AEV rear bumper, 40s, independent suspension. Something that'll match the camper perfectly. You can load up dirt bikes, snowmobiles, you name it.
That's going to be rad.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
It's got a high deck, so you can have a big old ramp on there to get stuff in and out. But that's going to look so perfect matched behind the camper.
Exactly. Right? And then on the other side of that, we've got our full fab station. So we've got fixture tables. We do TIG welding of aluminum and stainless, and we do a ton of MIG welding for all of our skid plates, rub rails, subframe rails, swing outs, hitches.
Yeah, full hitch stuff they make themselves. How cool is that?
Yep. And then we'll
circle back around
We'll
here.
circle back around and head on through. And you can see everything is painted to match the truck. Yep. We spray everything in-house. We can do custom colors to match. AEV will do a custom color, we'll match it. We do two tones, we do pinstripes, so you name it.
Cab chassis truck.
Yep.
AEV will paint it whatever color you want.
Yep.
Or you can stock with stock colors,
yep.
fine.
Yep.
And then you guys have the exact same paint system here.
Yep.
And this is all automotive paint, so it's not a gel coat on these carbon campers.
Yep.
It's automotive finish, just like the truck itself.
Correct.
So it matches perfectly.
Yep, that's the goal.
So
you can't
cool.
ever, if you sprayed an in-mold gel coat, it would never match OEM colors.
Okay.
We're really big on trying to be as OEM as possible. You've seen in your tour some of the wiring stuff we do, some of the gasketing and serviceability.
Yep.
But really it's like, we believe that the OEMs paint vehicles for a reason.
Yep.
That's why we paint them.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's hop right into it, I guess.
Yeah.
Here's the TruckHouse. This is the prototype?
Yeah, this is our prototype. This is the first Ram we've completely finished. Parked next to your truck, for comparison.
Mine hiding that's really tiny. This is the only truck I've ever seen make that look really minuscule, especially with the kayaks on the roof.
And you can see as this thing comes together, you know, stuff starts to make sense. Here's your hard points for your swing. It's got hard points for your skids, hard points for your hatches. Hatches are all carbon, they match the body lines. Windows are all frameless. All the hard points for your
the
L-track, yep. And then you can, you know, like you were saying on the tour, there's not a flat surface on here. It's all fully shaped.
Curved.
Tumble.
It's crazy. Every angle on this thing has some angle to it.
Yep.
And that not only makes it look cool, but is structural, right?
Yep.
And for aero.
Yep. Flats are weak, curves are strong, flats are ugly, curves are beautiful. And then we do have what we call a hyperfoil, which is high pressure reduction airfoil. We have a patent on that. And so that grabs the high pressure air off that leading edge, pulls it through those foils, and then controls the drag induced vortices that go down the rig. This truck doing the speed limit, doing 65, you're getting almost 17 miles to the gallon.
Wow.
On 40s.
17?
Yeah, with a camper.
Come on, I'm getting 10 towing a trailer with those kayaks on there.
Yeah.
17. All right.
And if you're doing 85, 90, you're looking at about 13. So,
all right, well, I do drive.
Yes.
Not. Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be doing better if you're doing 65
but
miles
that's still
an hour.
Impressive. So on 40s, full camper, getting a few mile per gallon better fuel economy than I am on 37s towing a trailer.
Yep.
But I got a ton of kayaks on
We
there,
worked really hard to reduce that frontal area. It's all beautifully swept to match the window.
Yep.
It's really important, you know, even from here to here, this is sweeping inward about 3 inches, really to be part of that whole aerodynamic design.
Unless you really look close, you can't tell, like, all of this is curved this way, and then there's beams on both sides that help add rigidity, but also give it that, kind of reduce that gap.
Correct.
But allow the cab to move underneath the camper, and that is so freaking cool.
And then, you know, this big sweeping curve is a compound curve that goes both directions to match the back of the cab.
Nice. And then it's full AEV. So there's a Prospector XL. We got 40s, HD wheels, full beast, the Bilstein 8100s.
Correct.
8100s under there with their remote resis.
Yep.
Got, of course, the big fender flares to hold those 40s underneath.
Yep.
This one's got the lights and the brush guard and all of the bling on that.
20,000 pound winch from come up.
20,000, yep.
Yep. And this truck, believe it or not, has about 60,000 miles on it. We drive the heck out of this thing.
This one's been in a lot of the shows the last year and a half.
Yep, year and a half. Yep, and we've used the heck out of it. You know, we've got full gearbox, swing outs. We'll pop inside. Don't want to make your video.
I want to show your isolators here. Like, so there's 3 on each side.
There's spring mounts. Yep, it's a carbon carbon integrated torsion-free subframe.
Yep.
So instead of building a full steel structure that would be 8 inches tall and weigh 1,000 pounds,
Right.
we added 200 pounds of extra carbon to our belly, and then just use steel rails to grab our shear guide plates and our springs. And then we cast a polyurethane isolator here in-house.
That thing's super cool. You showed me that earlier.
Yeah.
That's a pretty rad little setup. And what I think is cool too, there's no airbags or anything. These are the stock springs, correct?
Yep. Yeah, and we really, we drank the AEV.
Or the leaf springs.
Leaf springs, and front coils too.
Yep.
We really drank the AEV Kool-Aid that we should lean into the OEM engineering and not just throw it away.
Yep.
And that means that this truck is fully serviceable at any dealership.
Yep.
So it retains factory warranty, and the failure modes have been designed by Ram so you can get home.
So cool.
An airbag's not gonna pop and leave you stranded, or a hydraulic fitting's gonna break and you're gonna be in Mexico trying to search for one. This truck is guaranteed to get you home.
It's cool to see what you guys have done and where you've come from, because if we zoom in across the parking lot here, you can see where they came from right there.
Yeah, fully custom.
Taco
Yeah.
in the opposite direction. So everything's custom. Frames custom, suspension's custom, everything. Big camper on a little truck.
Yep.
Really, really cool.
Yep.
Had that old Sun Raider kind of vibe.
Yep.
But then to this thing that's just fully engineered and has all the things. Let's go
Yep.
inside.
Cool,
So,
yeah. This is our
engineered
prototype.
step, that's super cool.
Yep, and that's just prototype step. So you
Yep.
saw the production one inside. Everything has become more refined in full production. This was a prototype. I built all of this out of fiberglass panel to test before we built the molds to build the one-piece cabinet.
So the new ones look the same, basically. From 5 feet away, they look the same.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
Look at this one. It's single panels. It's not all one piece.
Correct,
That kind of thing.
correct. Yeah, so the level of fit and finish has increased dramatically just as we've gotten better at building them and testing everything. And it's, you name it, it's got it. So like we were saying, full 40.
All the good latches.
Yeah, good latches and, heated floors and Bosch oven, and the fridge comes from Italy, and it can be fridge, freezer, freezer all on the fly. Full wet bath with 3 different toilet options, so we can do cassette composting or dry flush.
Really, whatever people want.
Yep, whatever
That's
people
cool.
want. And then
So the layout's the same on all of these,
Yep,
right?
correct. Yep.
But they can do different of that, a few different appliances, probably different colors in here.
Oh yeah, yep, different woods,
Spec it whatever
different
you want.
woods, different cabinet colors, different upholsteries, different truck trim levels, a few options. Do you want Starlink? Do you want the AC?
Sure.
Do you want TV? Do you want sound system?
Different headliner color materials, that kind of thing.
Different upholsteries, different wood choices. And the cool thing is, although like this, this appears to be a solid wood door, if this were solid wood, this would be at 120 pounds. It's got some composite secret sauce in the middle. What you're feeling is real wood.
Yeah, it feels super light. You can tell.
But it's super strong, won't warp, won't rot, won't swell.
Nice.
This is actually thermally modified ash. This is thermally modified for one of our favorite guitar manufacturers. And then we hand saw the veneer work and apply that to composite panels. So
so rear dinette, adjustable bed. Obviously, you can turn it into a bed. Move that in a bunch of different directions to get out of your way.
100%.
Full sink with hot water.
That's filtered. That's
filtered water. Cool.
UV and sediment filter. Yep.
Cool. Induction cooktop.
Correct.
Oven. We got convection oven.
Bosch oven. Yep.
Bosch oven. Nice. Tons of storage. Obviously for silverware, stuff like that.
Yep. Soft close. Yep.
Fridge, freezer, fridge, whatever you want to do with there.
Yep. Bifold behind here. Our latch will open.
Oh, that's slick.
Yeah. And
nice way to use the Step 22 little Stingray. I use a bunch of those in my rig
and
as
then
well.
these are modulars. They can move up and down, or you can remove them completely. You could do coffee bar. You could do a monitor for standing desk.
And then closed closet, stuff like that. We do have the pass-through here that goes into the cab.
We can pull that down.
Oh, wow. Yep. Straight through. So this is the setup you were talking about with captains versus a full bench in the back. So you have a kind of an alley.
And we just are in the middle of finishing development of a new pass-through bulkhead wall here that'll be all molded and actually have a hard door. So get rid of the the canvas and do a hard door. And then
that's cool.
Yep. And then we're actually doing some molded bed area. So this will be all refined, and we thermoformed the roof liner because we're having a hard time getting it to
that's cool. So thermoform plastic as the roof liner behind that.
And then it'll be upholstered. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we're having a hard time making it take the shape.
Right.
But this is king bed, TV, big skylight, Starlink.
There's lots of room up here. Like I can see where that would be quite comfortable.
Oh yeah.
Lots of light with the obviously glass windows.
Yep.
Little cubbies. You can charge your phone, stuff like that. Reading lights. Of course, you got to have your television because that's
and the TV pulls out.
AC.
Yep. TV pulls out and flips 180 if you want to watch it from the rear.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so you can use it. Oh, so same.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, one TV front and back.
Yep, yep.
That's solid.
And then yep.
ladder.
Yeah, carbon fiber bed ladder. This weighs about 2 pounds.
That thing is so cool. I got to be honest, I love that.
Yeah,
thing.
it's a touch point, right? So
Yeah.
we figured if we
and
build
the rail here.
this carbon, yeah, we figured we should build everything out of carbon that we can
Yep.
to just kind of stay on brand. And
Right.
yeah, that's kind of it.
That's it. Sweet. Well, how many of these have you made so far?
We have 6 on the road. There's 10 in process in that shop
10,
right now.
wow.
Yeah. And we've got a backlog of about 18 months.
Okay.
Yeah, they start at 510,000, including the truck.
Okay.
And there are some options to go up from there.
Sure.
And
Yeah, so a double, like this one, kind of
Yeah.
outfitted as is, double cab.
Yep.
What's that kind of?
yeah, this would be about 550.
550.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then
cool.
there you can get more. Like we were talking, AEV will do custom paint on the truck. We'll do custom
Right.
paint on the camper. There are some extravagant features
Sure.
that add some cost.
Right.
That
yeah,
are,
I mean, doing the brush guard and all that, that's extra, right? Lights, brush guard,
Yep.
like depends on how you spec your truck and
Yep.
then how you spec your camper.
Yep.
Because there's lots of options with that.
and then we do 2 doors and 4 door, so up
Right.
to the customer. And then we also are able to build on a 5500. We
Okay.
primarily build on 3500s because the wheel and tire package is so much more manageable.
Nice.
But we can do a 5500 if it makes sense for the
Have you
customer.
done a 55 yet?
We have not.
Not a
Nope.
55, okay.
Yep.
And
But-
most of them are diesel too, right?
Most
Just
of them
being
are
spec'd
diesel.
That way,
Yep.
but you could do a Hemi.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
right
Yep.
on.
And the 5500 for us, it's no difference.
Yep.
AEV does a different conversion on the 5500, so
Yep.
different wheel tires. But the camper and the chassis or frame rails are all the same. So
Yep.
camper stays the same for us.
Right. Okay,
Yep.
cool. And then I know people are going to ask, so I got to
Yep.
throw it out there.
Yeah.
Ford?
Ford? Ooh.
AEV's doing a
We-
Prospector XL now.
Yeah,
or
the
what do they call it?
FXL.
FXL.
Yeah, I
sorry.
was actually at the Detroit Auto Show when
Yep.
that was unveiled. We had a camper there next to it.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. Let's just say that version 3 of TruckHouse is going to be really, really cool. That's about all I can tell you.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
I like it. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for your time, Matt. This
Yeah.
is a rad thing. Yeah, I dig it. Makes my truck look puny. And stoked for all of it. And thanks for having us.
Of course, man. Thanks for
All
coming
right.
by.
Good to see you.
Yeah.